All right. All right, we back. We are
Is my
back.
camera better? Are you
Your camera
full?
is much better now. Whatever we got going. Hey man, this is what happens when you go live. We don't record nothing. What you see is what you get. God damn it.
Period.
You know what I'm saying? What you get, what you get. That's just what it is. We back. Goddamn. All right, so check it. All right, so let's get back into this. So this is one of the biggest points I want to make. I just feel like sometimes women feel like they have a monopoly on the opinions of other women. I'm gonna say this, and you tell me what your thoughts. So here's what I'm just gonna lay it out. Right at the end of the day, right at the end of the day, as they always say. Hold on, I'm gonna make sure I got everybody back in. What I want to hear. I want everybody to hear this real quick because I ain't got but a few on here. Let me open it up for a second. All right. Edit. All right. Let's do this. All right. There we go. So look. So check it. Here's the thing that I feel the most passionate about. I always say women feel. I feel like women sometimes feel like they have a monopoly on the opinions of other women. Yes, as a man, we have an opinion too, right? And sometimes our opinion may not be to your favor, but if we coming out of love, it's okay for us to do that. Now, do a lot of men uh, come out of love? Some come out of spite, absolutely. But understand, you got to understand the source and where you get it from, right? So the thing about it is that we have felt, and just giving two comparisons as I gave earlier, we feel that there's a line when it comes to us saying, "Hey, we feel women make us feel blah," right? There are certain type of women and men that can mess the ecosystem up of dating, right? So once we make the opinion that we feel like there are certain women that do certain things and we don't like it and we call it out, then we don't like our mama. You see what I'm saying? I think that our opinion is very valid because maybe our opinion can help change the situation today. As long as you're not bashing anyone, right? But I also feel that once we have those opinions, then it's looked upon as being bad guys. Why is that so, in your opinion? Well, it looks like she's froze. But so look, check it. I'm gonna go ahead and tell you what happened to me the other day. We're gonna share this story, right? So obviously, right, I ended up doing the post. I ended up doing the post. It was more so a post about men and at one point, when we were growing up as young men, we just pretty much felt that we were overlooked, right? And so when women start getting older, then it feels like now they want to join in once we once their time has passed as being the it woman, right? And it's almost similar to like when they say, well, um, men don't want to settle down until they penis don't work, right? That's been a vibe. Men don't want to settle down until our penis don't work. Okay, that may be true, but it's also true that some women don't want to deal with us until their assets depreciate. And as far as getting older, not saying getting older is anything wrong, correction, but you know, we tend to kind of like things a little bit more right and tight. You know what I mean? And young and fit. So my question to you is that why is it that women feel they have the monopoly on having the opinion of another woman when women don't even really support each other like that anyway?
That's a lie.
Why is
I
that?
think women do support each other.
Okay. All right. Speak on it, and then we'll have a talk
I
conversation
do.
about that.
I think that women do support each other. Probably not as much as we should, but I feel like women are more supportive of one another than men are of each other. That's just my opinion.
Okay.
But as far as question about why
Having
does
an
do
opinion
women? I'm sorry.
about having an opinion, right? It seems like we can't have an opinion about women.
I just feel I'm just what I was gonna reference is you saying that, it's like women be ain't ready to necessarily deal with you guys as far as like until y'all are a little older or whatever the case may be, and by then things change. Honestly, that's I just feel like in that particular instance, it just depends on the woman, number one, and number two, sometimes it took that woman until that time to realize like the value of what she saw in that man. And I'm not saying that it's right. I'm just saying that that's true.
Right.
Just like
Okay.
sometimes with men who will have had, I've seen this so many times. We've seen it all kind of Lifetime movie, Hallmark movie, everything where people will. So the storyline range true, right? Where and it's this so funny, where like the nerdy guy or the one that won get and all of that turned into the big fine muscle man. He got out of business by
Right.
himself. He ain't went to jail. He went for Leon in school. Leon was popular. He was a king. I mean, he was a captain of the basketball team. But Leon ain't shit. Like
Hmm.
Leon hurt his knee. He couldn't play ball no more. Leon was depressed. He didn't feel like he had nothing to live for. He done went and married the head cheerleader and gave her 100 babies. She
The
miserable
100.
as hell. Leon miserable. He work a job he don't like. And really, neither one of them want to have the conversation of, and you don't like me either. We just gonna stay in thing and just, figure it out. Whereas, she looking like, dang, I wasted all my good years on this man. And he looking like I'm down. But it's like, you don't wanna do nothing. You don't want to go nowhere because you don't want to hear everybody talk about all your glory days back in high school and how everybody thought you was going pro, but then your knee went out and then you didn't feel like you had nothing else to offer the world. Like I just feel like so easy to say what we as don't do or haven't done. Ladies, even though I'm a woman, I'm always keep it up. Some of that stuff we don't do and we should do. But the thing about it
Still
is
do.
finding the person who will, because in some instances you don't want to do it for the person because you either feel like it's not valued or it's just not innately in you. And a lot of women, it's not innately in them because they may not have been raised to be catering, to be caring, to be nurturing. I have conversations all the time when I'm out speaking that every woman not a nurturer. Men think that she a woman, so it's in her. But it could have never been cultivated. It could have never been open, or
Okay. It
she
could have
just
never
could
been
have not had
cultivated.
it. It
I
could
can
be that
agree.
I feel like
I can agree. It can never be
just like I
cultivated.
like it's
Right. You're absolutely.
yeah, but I feel the same way with men. There are some men that certain things can't be cultivated because how they and their mindset is set on it don't take all of it. But for the right woman, it all that. And for the right man, it do take all of that. And guess what? You willing to do that and much.
Okay. So you have not yet explained to me why, when men have an opinion on women, why does it viewed upon us being bad guys?
What beautiful y'all being bad guys.
When we have an opinion on how women make us feel or an opinion on a woman, we are viewed upon as being a man that hates his mama.
I think that that's a cop out. I don't think that you necessarily hate your mama. But that's not to say that some of them don't. Some of them don't necessarily. This is how I feel about that.
Wow.
I have to
Right.
let me stop a pen real quick. I don't feel like and who have a negative viewpoint or something on a woman don't love their mom, don't like their mom. However,
Hmm.
I do feel some of how they treat women or relate to the treatment of a woman is on some of their relationship with their mom. Because this is how I feel. If
What?
you really do have mama, this is just facts. for your mama, the way that you woman who could be somebody's mama, it's gonna show in how you do. And that's just my opinion. I've heard men say, "Oh, that's my mama. Of course I love her," and call her out her name. And your mama is okay with that because that's your relationship and that's how you grew up. But you get a woman who know who she is, assured of herself, like you're not gonna be. First of all, you ain't gonna be able to say it in front of her because she's not gonna. That's not gonna be okay with her. And number two, a lot of times those particular women, most men never even get past or to a real because she already know like if this how your viewpoint of women or your mama is, you not never finna treat me right. You because you
Well,
don't see the
but I don't
value in
think,
treating me right.
but I don't think that and yes, there are some cases where women, excuse me, where men don't have respect for the mom and it passes along. But a lot of times that comes from probably previous relationships and how their mind was scoped. You know what I
True.
mean? So that I think that plays
True.
more of a part because we have more value in our mother because our mother was really there, but the women we dated may not have been there, which causes some men to continue that mindset, which is not right. I'm not saying it's right, but at the same token, there are some men that really do care about good women. Listen, there's good guys and bad guys. There's good women and bad women. I think in some cases it's okay for men to call the bad women out because if you don't call the bad women out, it makes the good women look bad. Somebody got to do the straightening and the correction. Somebody got to because it reflects on good women. Good women don't get
I
a
don't
lot of good women are overlooked.
disagree. I just feel like
Right.
everything has a time and a place. And I think that sometimes the time and the place that is called out ain't right. And the thing is,
Oh man.
you and drama, then you do correction. And that's just my opinion. If you don't handle it right by a
Okay.
woman who may be actually correctable, even be open for correction,
Hmm.
if you say it to her wrong, and you have to be honest, everybody don't have tact, and everybody is not going to say it in a closed mind. Because
Right.
this is what I can say
Right.
as a woman is that being corrected by your man or a man that you have, you may not have been intimate with them. You can be corrected. You feel like it's coming from a place of building and not destruction. And sometimes the way certain things come across, it's like you just trying to be funny versus realizing I'm really trying to help hard to even receive that constantly are in a defense mode. Does that make sense?
Hmm. Yeah,
A
and
lot
I
of
can
times as
understand
women
that.
and as men, we are in defense mode because you always think somebody trying to either try you or they're not seeing like your evolution or how you change and stuff like that. So people walk around so much thinking everybody want to offend them and they really are just trying to help with correction, not fight.
Well, right. I'm gonna say this to a lot of ladies. There are some brothers out there that gonna call the bullshit out. You know what I'm saying? You got the house Negroes and you got the field Negroes, right? And now some field Negroes that may have good intentions may have good intentions, so it may have a positive effect on the ones that are good women. So it's okay for a man to call a woman out if he views her to be a problem in the ecosystem of dating, right? And
Mhm.
that's what I do, right? And so I think that we have to get out our feelings so we can be able to push this thing forward in a positive manner. But the only way you're going to be able to do that is clean house. You got to clean the house out. And sometimes when you cleaning up the house, you're gonna see some stuff that you ain't seen in a long time. It's gonna be dirty, it's gonna be nasty, but you got to clean it out. And it's okay for some of us to clean it out. Now, men, there now she said something that was very, very important. Communication. Communication on how you say it and how you lay it is also important too. You know, honestly, social media is such a it can context can be only um can be taken by the person that's receiving it. And the person that's receiving it may be in a bad space, which I understand that too. You know what I mean? I understand that Some people may see things and where they at, it reflects where they also at in their own relationships, right? So let me ask you a question. Um, in your opinion, what do you think that men should understand when it comes to women that it ain't making sense, it ain't clicking with us? What are some of the things?
Say that one more time. You broke up.
Okay, what are some of the things that you think that men need to understand coming from a woman? What are some of the things that you feel like we're not getting that you would like to tell men to get? You've wondered
Um,
why.
I'll say this first to women. I'm gonna say this to the men, but I'm gonna preface this first with women before I say this. Um, as women, we gotta get a place of making feel insecure. We're asking them to be more vulnerable or more um verbal and intentional with how they handle us spending time, being more present. Because I personally feel like something that I would tell men to be more conscious of is treating a woman how you want other people to not just treat her but perceive her if she belonged to you.
Mm-hmm.
I
Gotcha.
feel like the way like love their cars, right? You have men who like cars
Right.
is their thing. They wash their car on a regular basis. You don't eat in that car. Like they wiping that down.
Mm-hmm.
Just those things. If you put that same kind of attention and time into a woman to make her feel a priority, like her happiness is important to you. And now I'm not just saying that this should be one side. I think that it has to be to feel prioritized, and what you get out of them is
Mm-hmm.
totally different than somebody else can get out of them. And I
Right.
think a lot of
So
times, go ahead.
it's almost like that's compatibility then, right? You say when things people
Hmm.
can bring things out of you.
I think temperature checks are also super important.
Okay,
I think
what are those? What
sometimes
are
get into
those? What are
relationship.
temperature checks? How do you what are temperature checks? Start there first. How do you
Okay,
temperature check someone?
so a temperature check. This is my definition of a temperature check. Is if something feel off, don't just
Mm-hmm.
automatically say, "Oh, well, he just tired or she just tired." If something is different, now, ladies, I ain't saying run to the hills with this. Now, don't get
Mm-hmm.
extra. Your man been a cheater. You knew he was a cheater, so stuff changed, and you start saying stuff like, "No, that's not what I'm saying." What I'm saying is, a lot of times when we are building in relationships, when we are, you know, trying to do stuff or things like that. I'm saying if it's a woman or your man not doing some of the things that he normally does, and he changed, his demeanor changed, his mindset changed, like how he speak, the way he get ready for bed.
Mm-hmm.
If those things change, I feel like those are cues that as a woman you should pay attention to, and vice versa. If all of a sudden,
Mm-hmm.
say for instance, you tell your woman like, "Hey, I like this," right? And the thing that you say you like her to go to bed in lingerie at nighttime. Like, you know, hey, babe, some days I don't want no bonnet on. I want you to go to bed like this. Some
Mm-hmm.
days, right? Whatever. However, your conversation. Look, this y'all relationships. I'm just saying, communication is important. But it's changing that, whether it's she on the bed before you, she not really caring about certain things that you said that you value or that you're looking for a temperature check. Babe, let me make sure you okay. Because depression is real. Regular stuff outside of your relationship, when you leave outside your home, those pressures are real. Checking in to say, hey, I'm making sure we're good. And if the temperature check say we good, are you good as an individual, because you may think the relationship is fine, but y'all ain't had sex in a couple of months and things are going on, and that wasn't y'all dynamic. Yeah, you need to check the temperature. A lot of times people overlook it and say, oh, well, they're stressed, they're working, this is going on, that is going on. No, the same way that we are intentional about, if we have children, by making sure that our kids eat, that they got clean clothes and stuff like that. You have to be that kind of intentional in your relationship.
Mhm.
Babe, I just checking on you, want to make sure you're good. Like, you don't even know like how many men that I have come across that just be like, they looking for a good one text. Me be looking for a good one text too. Hey boo, hey honey, hi King, how you doing? Like,
Yeah.
they, y'all need some of those
Mhm.
same buildups, but a lot of times those things are overlooked, and then we'll go down social media
Yeah. Oh man, I'm telling you, the night is really tripping, man. She has some really really good stuff going on tonight, and I don't know what it is. They hating the snowstorm. I don't know what it is. We're gonna leave this
in
picture up
our
here like
home.
this.
How are we growing in our relationship? And a lot of times people don't
Here
want
we
to have
go.
that conversation because sometimes you don't want to know the real answer.
So we scared to know the truth.
Yeah. Huh?
We scared to know the truth.
What you say? I think a
Or we
lot of times
scared to
people
know the
scared to know the
truth.
truth because they
Meaning what?
already know it. No, I think a lot of times they already know
Mm,
it, or they don't want to hear it because they're not ready to put in the work to fix it.
yeah, I
Some
think
people are
sometimes
blissfully
the
ignorant.
truth. Yeah, and I think sometimes the truth reflects, and sometimes who you are can be reflected in the person that you surround yourself with, as far as relationships and dating.
Period. Facts.
You know what I'm saying? I think sometimes we too quick to point the finger at the other person when in actuality it may be something within them that may be you. I think sometimes we got to start there and realize, especially if we in the gauntlet of dating like that, and you keep running into the same situations. I think instead of going out and saying dating sucks, you may suck, and it's hard for us to do that. You know, Have you ever been married before?
No,
You ever been married? Do you have is marriage is an objection for you? Objection. Is it
it is.
objective for you right now?
It is.
Okay. What is if you was
It's
to
a
look back on
desire for sure.
stuff, if you look back, what are some of the things you think that you can own outside of what someone did that you can say, hey, this is probably one of the things I need to correct that may have me not where I need to be when it comes to that. Like, what are some of the things you think the missteps you made? You think?
Oh, I could definitely. The one thing about me, if you ever follow me or if you follow me beyond this point, and some of the things that I could definitely
Okay.
say, looking back at life, like is one, a level of maturity. Like always been in defense mode. I super loving, super caring. I show up, all of those things, but I couldn't. I don't even say constructive criticism. I couldn't take criticism, period, because it was always like, why are you attacking me? You don't know what I've been through. You don't know what I've overcome. And I feel like a lot of people get lost in it. And I can say now, one thing that I'm not, and
Hmm.
I've never been a woman who talk reckless to a man. Never in my life. No man can ever tell you that I just ran them down. Now, do I know how to do it? Yes, I grew up around people who do it very well. It just never was my thing because I feel like, and I say this when I do Battle of the
Hmm.
Sexes events and different things like that. For me, I cannot talk to you reckless and kiss you with the same mouth I said it. Because everything that kiss don't seem the same. Man that can say certain things to me and then turn around and use that same mouth, same thought to say, I love you so much. Like I miss you. I this and that. I don't know which part of you to believe. And a lot of times people where I was just angry. But if your anger can be directed towards me, there's some growth there. Like you need to grow because I'm supposed to be your ally, not your enemy. So if you talk to
Hmm.
me like off the
So,
street, go ahead. What
so
you
you think you had a bad mouth? You think
I
your
never
mouth
had a bad
prevented you from
no
getting
no
that?
no no. I never had a
Uh-huh.
bad mouth towards a partner. It was when
Okay.
they would say things to me, I would shut down. Like,
Oh, okay.
well, hey, you should do this, this, and this. I needed more immediate gratification. Like I would fix it because I value what you said.
Hmm.
But then when you get mad and you can talk to me any kind of way, I would shut down. That's not my situation now.
Hmm.
But at a time when I didn't know myself and I was really trying to get to know and build in a relationship, the hardest part of that is feeling like you on a battlefield with somebody you sleep with. And
Hmm.
so that was the
Hmm.
issue. It wasn't that I talk reckless. I've never been a reckless talking woman in no kind of way. That's just not my personality. But it would make me self sabotage certain things because now I want to like you respect me and I don't feel like you to talk to me better. You get what I'm saying? Like you're saying, oh well, this I was just
Hmm.
angry. I didn't mean that. No, 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 no. You
Hmm.
being angry, you gonna speak the most clearest thought, but everything that you held away and you dump it, that's how
It's
you
gonna come
feel.
out. Right. That's gonna
Yeah,
come.
that's how
Man, let me tell you something. I'm I'm tell
you
you one of the
feel.
biggest lessons in the relationship
Point
I
blank
had
period feel. You
was,
know that's not true, but yes it is.
hey, let me tell you something. One of the things I remember one a relationship that I was in. I won't tell you which one it was, but the relationship I was in, I dealt with a person that had a really, really bad mouth. You know what I'm saying? You know, one thing about it, boy, y'all go for two
Mhm.
things when y'all get upset. You gay and you dick little. You gay and you dick little, right? Them are your two goddamn them are your two go tos when you're mad at a nigga, right? You know what I'm saying? And so
It's
for me,
terrible.
I know this is the main two. For some reason, a lot of women think that that's gonna really, hurt some dudes it may. But if you know you're swinging, you don't pay that shit no attention anyway.
But my thing
But
is even if you
so
didn't know you were swinging, if she said that out of anger, but she constant, and if that's what your comeback is in there, and you allow what you consider to be a little you to penetrate you, and you should be mad at you, not him. Like that's just my opinion. Like
so
and like that's just my opinion because I've also heard with her blank trash and all these different things. It's like you're
right.
saying something because you want to hurt a person, but if that's how you felt, why do you keep?
Hmm.
I literally had this conversation with somebody that I know who got
Hmm.
somebody pregnant, right? And
Right.
he was like, "Well, I never seen this with this person, blah blah blah," and I'm like, "But you've been dealing with them for how many years?" And now they pregnant and you it was just it was if you I don't understand and I will say I get it maybe this is just a man thing. I don't understand how you can continue have sex with a woman and let's be honest have sex with a woman the possibility of procreation is there. I don't care if she
Yes.
told she on I don't care if
You
y'all use
might not
public
pull out in
the
time. You might not pull out in time.
possibility of procreation things. The possibility of procreation is there. And, and oh my God, I had this conversation with somebody. To me, it's like taking fed chances every day. That's just the truth. You're
Hmm.
taking
Right.
a life sentence of fed charges by playing Russian roulette with somebody that you don't see a future with. Hey, I'm just doing this. So many like I'm girl's girl. Like I'm super related, like all of the things. But I grew up
Mm.
having a whole bunch of partners. Like I'm the one girl that's around all the dudes, right? And they would always laugh at me when I would say, like, especially when I was in college. They would always I be like, you're messing with, if this come out, you already know what it's gonna be. And I've seen them get these particular women pregnant. And now here we are, 40 plus, what, 30 plus years later, and they got baby mom. These girls is their baby mamas, and they can't stand each other. They can't stand each other today, and these children grown, all from a moment that you didn't want, and now you're tied to this person for life. And so that's why I just feel like if if
Yeah.
if if that can be your comeback, or if that can be the thing that hurts you, first of all, if it's somebody that you really care about, and this is just my opinion, if that's somebody, there are some things that it's hard to come back from. People talk about forgiveness and all that, but it's hard to come back from, because if that was something that you were able to formulate in your mind, it was a thought, and you never
Right.
addressed the thought. And
Right.
then in the argument, you use that as your, like, I just feel like you're just not a good person. I'm sorry, you're just not a good person. And so
Right.
what you're doing to fight is tearing down. I just feel like in relationship, we're meant to build one another in order to come together. So when you get into like the tearing down and all of those different things, it's like you're not a good, really, you really do need to take some time to do some self-examination, because a lot of people come from, families and bloodlines where that's how you say, how we come from the dozens, your jokes and all of these different things. Some
Right.
people, sadly, but honestly, like that's the only way that they feel like they can explain or say different things. Oh boy, I'm playing. Mm-mm-mm. If your joke got too much truth to it, you meant exactly what you said. You just decided to
Yeah.
try to say it in joke form.
Yeah. I'll just say, I remember one time I used to always say this. Y'all can use this one next time. Look, check this out. So next time y'all get into somebody and they talking, I'm gonna give you a good one. This is one I used one time in a relationship. Right? I did this. I said, well, you this, you that. She say, well, you this and you that, and this is it. I should say two things: either you're lying or you're telling the truth. If you're lying, I
Ooh.
ask of you to stop lying. Right? I ask you to stop lying. Now, if you're telling the truth, then if I was you, I wouldn't even want to be with me. Right? If it's that bad, then you may need to reconsider who you dealing
Ex-
with, because if I was you, I wouldn't be me, and I walk off. You see what I'm saying? Because I know when people have those type of miles, whether it be dating, relationships, marriages, the person either delusional or they're lying, or they may be the truth. So somebody got to make a decision, because one thing about words are one of those things that some of this stuff will just forever stick with you. Some of it would always stick with
yeah.
you. You know what I mean?
I definitely agree. And there was a study done about how traumatic or hurtful things stick with you longer than positive things. It's like people have to consistently be reassured and reaffirmed, but somebody can tear you
Mhm.
down, and it take months, sometimes years, to undo the damage that caused. And sadly, but honestly, that's the world we live in. Like, I'm hurt you
Mhm.
real bad. You get what I'm saying? Like, it's just crazy. And that's just how the
Okay.
culture in which we live.
Okay. Let me ask you a question. When you were growing up, right? When you was growing up, and you start observing relationships, whether it be men, how men treat women, vice versa. When you started to gain consciousness of what relations are, what did you think it was like, and what did you find out how it really was? right? For an example, I remember when I was a child and my mother, she had boyfriends. Well, my father died early, so in my mind, I saw um, the how women were based upon my relationship with my mother, right? That women couldn't make no mistakes. But then as I got older, I realized, oh hell no, you know what I'm saying? It's not like that. You know what I mean? It's not like that. So that was a harsh reality to me because I was actually viewing every woman through the lens of my mother. So when you grew up, what did you see? What did you think? And then later on, when you got into the world, what was the reality?
So growing up with my mom, she was a single mom. She was married a few times, but the thing that I feel like that I saw that I wanted differently for my life was I saw my mom be a single mom, and in her being a single mom, she yearned for love. Like she yearned to like be married and have marriage, be committed. But the men that she would be with, she would always, and ladies, you probably gonna get the name that I'm gonna use, but she always had a man. She like it was every
Yeah,
man was like a project, like trying
right,
to help them be better. But in the method of trying to help them be better, it was also trying to show. I feel like trying to show them how to be better in order for them to have a better appreciation for her. That's the way I put it, right?
hmm,
And I can honestly say, in my early years of dating, I kind of was in that same place. Like, I would get somebody and meet them exactly where they were to
hmm,
be able to show them the ability of upgrading from being with me, right?
right,
But then you're looking for their appreciation. And a lot of people not appreciative because they don't really understand the value that you really be pouring into them. Like I can say that even in relationships, I had guys that I've dated that have come back to me and it's like I shouldn't did what I did because I realized when I jump back out here, what you willing to do, women not doing. Like this, that it's a very. I started this thing by saying I ain't never been regular. I'm telling you, men get back out. They be like, wait a minute, women don't be doing that. And then you'll try to suggest something to another woman that just not who she is. So then something that you got introduced to, but you didn't even appreciate. So for me growing up, that's
right,
what I saw. I saw women always trying to, the women that I was around, it was one of three things. They either were trying to overcompensate to make that man feel like they were worthy of having more and being more. Getting with
right,
women, seeing men that were with women who already did them, but wanted a
hmm,
more traditional lifestyle, but they weren't willing to be the type of submissive that you would have to be in order to do that. And unfortunately, the men that they would get with didn't have the leadership ability in a way for them to get that. Does that make sense?
yeah, yeah. And the reason why I brought that point up is that sometimes when we're dating or whatnot, we have to realize that how a reflection or again we have to gather information, and a lot of times if we're not treated a certain way, we have to realize that there are some things that we saw or envisioned as children that has shaped us to be who we are when it comes to dating. But that's not an excuse for those who understand that. We have to figure out what it is, and then also how can we um, grow out of that, right? Because that's this whole platform is about self reflection, and so sometimes again that's something self reflective. We have to understand that how we got here. How do we get here? Why do we think? Why do we think this way? Okay, boom. Maybe I saw these things. Okay, now is it positive or negative? If it's negative, then we have to find ways to remove that. So we can be a better person. I just want to kind of say that. But okay, so let me ask you one of the biggest questions. outside of uh, lying, what's a non-negotiable for you when it comes to dating? What what's a non-negotiable outside of lying and inconsistency? What's a
Out
non-negotiable?
of lying,
Yeah,
to
because that's it. That's damn near
outside of
everybody.
lying,
This is
correct?
damn near right outside of lying. What's another non-negotiable?
Blatant disrespect.
Okay, okay, even okay. So, what do you consider disrespect? What do you mean? Because that's broad.
Um, insulting my intelligence.
What's disrespect?
Like I definitely,
Okay.
cons- I definitely feel like I'm a very smart woman, and
Mm-hmm.
it's like saying I tell you I
Mm-hmm.
saw something, or I tell you that something
Mm-hmm.
happened, and then you like, no, that didn't happen. Like I don't know what you're talking about. I'm willing. I've been in a relationship
Mm-hmm.
with a habitual. Like
Damn.
he was a hoe. Point blank. Period. Um,
Uh,
but and I say that, and I'm being very transparent. Before he and I really got into a relationship, we were messing around. Like this, just we were just messing around, right? And
mm-hmm.
it was like the first time he had spent the night at my house, and we had this great little dating. We had been dating anyway. He spent the night. I got up to go cook breakfast. You know,
Mm-hmm.
all the things. I'm gonna bring you breakfast, and my couch is buzzing, and I'm not even realizing why my couch is buzzing. Well, my couch is buzzing
Mm-hmm.
because his phone is tucked down in my couch, which is stupid. Because if you really had people that was calling you like that, you should just leave your phone
Yeah, took his phone down.
in the car. Like, in my opinion.
Right.
Um, so at any rate, I pick up the phone. Another bad. I have this thing. First of all, I don't think that you should cheat. I don't feel like cheating is a non-negotiable. I don't think that it's just willfully cheating is some bull, right?
What's willfully
But
cheating?
I ain't
What's
gonna say it's a
willfully cheating?
non-negotiable because things
What's willfully cheating? What do you mean?
you reckless. You just reckless. You just out here doing it regardless of the fact. Because I do feel like sometimes people in situations because of I think that sometimes people find themselves in situations where it can be compromising, and a lot of times it's compromising because there hasn't been a temperature check, there hasn't really been any conversation, and both of y'all have completely detached, but don't nobody want to be honest.
Mm-hmm.
Willful cheat,
Mm-hmm. So,
willfully cheating is, good and well, your woman love you, she trying to be with you, and it could be vice versa. I'm just saying, as a woman, and y'all building a home, building a family, all of these different things. You going through something, or your back, whatever. And then you just steadily going out because your girl really not checking your phone, like she not on you like that. And you take that as a way to say, like, I had a freedom to do what I want to do. But that's not a conversation or something that's been acknowledged in your relationship, but you doing it because you can. To me, that's willful. You're willfully out here in these streets like you ain't with nobody. And here we live in Atlanta, so you could be willfully out in these streets telling somebody you got somebody, and they still want to try you, mainly because they hoping, especially for lack of a better way, especially if your girl got like a presence, whether it's on social media, people know who she is or whatever the case. It's always somebody looking to try to see if they can snatch what they got. Because it's like if you pull her, you gotta offer something. And sometimes, ladies, they
mhm.
don't offer nothing. The girl just fell stupid in love with somebody and don't want to leave them alone. But I
so,
digress.
so,
But
so
anyway,
what? So, what reasons? So, in your opinion, what reasons should women excuse cheating? What are some of the ways you can excuse it? I'm not saying it's right, but what are some of the ways that what are some of the
oh, I
reasons
should
to
say, now
excuse?
I'm not even. Don't put me down in that
I
rabbit
know,
hole.
but
Why you
some
should
what are some
excuse
of the
me?
reasons? Because
I feel
everybody
like you
doesn't.
should excuse it.
I no, we're not
So
excusing
this
it.
is what I feel like. If we just be honest, this is what I feel like, and this is just my opinion. These are cold. I don't feel like cheating
Right.
is
Does
ever
not
okay.
reflect
Let me say that.
the views of date night.
No, I don't feel like it's ever okay. But I think that if we be honest, and this could be on it could go on either side, men or women. The truth of the matter is that when there is a lack of something not being given that is needed, intentionally, unintentionally, consciously, or unconsciously, people will gravitate or connect to something or somebody who is getting. And a lot of times when you get it, you'll end up more people emotionally cheat than physically cheat. That's number one. But when
Right.
you get into
Okay.
a
I can see
place of
that.
physical, yeah, but when you get into a place of physical cheating, it's a lot of times, I will be honest, I feel like it's because you don't feel appreciated or value and you just want. And if you're not giving that to your person, I do feel like go back to the temperature check. I go you have these conversations. But the other side of it is if a woman is telling you or your man is telling you like, babe, you don't do this for me no more. Or honey, like I would like for you to do this. Like I know plenty of women who can get comfortable. Some and women, we do too, get comfortable and stop doing those things that you did to date. DC Young Fly said something real good recently. Like, stop acting like you forgot what turned her on or what got y'all together. What was you turn like? You used to walk around the house slapping her on the booty, like, "Oh, girl, that's my thing." All of that, and now you barely kiss to leave the door. You get what I'm saying? Those kinds of things
Hmm.
you want because again, let's go back to what I said about social media. You see these great that are up here doing all these little memes and cute little things together, and it stressed you out to even have a picture with her out. Not because you don't want to do it. It's just like, oh, you doing too much. You try to flex for the gram, blah 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 blah, and it's just like some of these things, if that's to her happiness, just like women all the time do things to make their man happy that they may or may not really want to do, but you know that it makes your person happy. You know what I'm saying? And I think a lot of times that's
Hmm.
how people end up physically cheating. It's the emotional connection with a person, and then honey, they done slip and slide all over each other.
Right. So to answer your question in clarification in one sentence, when do you excuse cheating?
Situational.
Situational. Okay. All right. Cause yeah, all right. Okay. So I got a couple. Okay. So look, check this out. So we're gonna do that because I definitely want to get your opinion on this. I got one thing for you. I'm gonna do this and that. I did this before again. I think it's a fun little game we can play. All right.
Okay.
So it's this and that. So I'm gonna ask you either one or two. I don't need no middle stuff. I don't need no
I just gotta pick one or the
nothing.
other.
One or the other. Damn it. All right. So my first
Okay.
question, I'm gonna go ahead and start off blazing. Do you prefer the top or the bottom when it comes to sex?
Top.
Top or bottom?
Top.
Okay. Top. A man's chest or arms? What do you prefer? Chest or arms?
I guess chest.
Okay. Do you like to cook or being cooked for? What do you prefer?
Both. Cook. That's a hard one because uh,
Go ahead.
I mean, I like to cook if it's appreciated, but if not, like I'm gonna appreciate either way. So that's kind of hard, but cook is fine.
Yeah. They cook. Okay. Music on or music off while making love or having sex or whatever
Oh, I
you
love
want to
that.
call it,
Okay.
rump shaking. On. Yeah.
I think
All
all of those
right.
classify in different places, but I would probably prefer it on.
Receiver or giver? Oral. Receiver or giver?
Ooh.
Giver.
I have so many comments, but honestly, I'm a giver.
All right.
I prefer to receive. I'm definitely prefer to receive, but I'm a giver too. That's kind of part of my love language.
Okay. Long sessions or quickies?
Who?
Long sessions or quickies? Long sexual acts or quickies? Sexual quickies.
If okay, this kind of hard because I feel like if I say quick, not true, but I think even a quickie can be sensual.
All right. Okay. All right.
Sometimes I have time for it.
Yeah. When it comes to men, we, sex, we feel like we gotta, be in a long periods of time, and what I'm saying, that we gotta do pound town like 1,000 miles per hour, right? Right.
As
Explain to the.
As SWB say, go downtown, pay the toll, and then go and do what you gonna do, and let me go sleep.
Right, right, right. Yeah, we be pound town. So one or
And
two.
pound town ain't got.
Right. See the future or change the past. Which one and why? See the future or change the past.
See the
Why is that?
because the past was necessary,
Hmm.
and I wouldn't
Only
change it
if we
because I
learn
feel
from
like
it, though.
yeah, but I wouldn't change it to learn from it. I had to go through it in order to be able to learn from it.
Hmm. Well, it's only valuable. I just think it's only valuable if we do it that way. Sometimes I wish I could just see the future, right? And the
Yeah.
reason why I say see the future is because I would like to, because the way I operate my mind, I want to see the works that I'm putting in right now, the seeds that I'm dropping, right? I'm eager to see
Mm-hmm.
that, right? I'm eager to
Mm-hmm.
want to know how it all turns out. You know what I mean? I have an idea. I just want to see it all
Right.
laid out in front of me. You know what I mean?
And that's why I say
Um,
I agree. See the future. It's see the future way more than trying to change the past. Because, like I said, I feel like the past is
hmm
necessary.
hmm Now, when it comes to men, even if it's okay, even if it's not preference, right? Even if it's not preference, I want to know if it's not preference through your relationship or dating, do you gravitate more toward or dated dark skinned men or fair skinned men? In your recollection of your dating, which one have you swayed toward more? Why you got that
Oh,
face, that look on your face? If you
because
go back, like, go ahead.
if I go back, literally, I can't. And I got the rainbow tribe, so I can't say. I
Damn.
haven't said I
What
do.
you
I
think?
have rainbow tribe, and when I think about it, I haven't really dated a lot of light skinned men because most light skinned men don't like me. Respectfully, it's okay though. But most light skinned men don't be checking with me.
How you say that? Because I don't check for you or something? What you
Yeah, I
saying? Why
mean,
you say that?
I, for lack of a better way, I'm very open in my attraction. I can find beauty in anybody. I'm in the
Right.
beauty fashion world. You get what I'm saying? So
Hmm.
I can see potential in anybody. Like as far as looks wise, I see beautiful men, women every day, right? But as far as what's ever been attracted to me, very rarely have it been we could be related or I've heard for so many years, and people just thought I was stuck up. But I've never been stuck up. I don't even like stuck up people. That's not my thing. But I feel like just that's never really what I've come across. Not light skin now. Different culture men
Hmm.
definitely have liked me, but I really had a light skin. Even when I think about it, so it's not necessary that I didn't or that I do gravitate towards or didn't gravitate towards them. I kind of like who like me, for lack of
Hmm.
a better way.
Yeah, I used to, when I think about my dating experience, I don't know. I seen like the tide changed for me. Like I started off like unconsciously, again, not nothing conscious. I started out dating like more so women that were fair skinned, right? But then I married one that was uh I can't hate using the word dark. That's not a good word. See, we're a little bit more full of color. Right. I ended up
So
marrying
is that,
someone that's full of color. Huh?
I said, but do you have a
What you say?
preference? Do you
Not
have a preference?
anymore. Not anymore. I think
Me.
that I think that I think I started out dating women that were similar to my mother as far as like not a lot of makeup, lipstick, eyeliner, stuff like that, just very plain. My mom was a fair skinned woman, right? So I think I probably subconsciously only dated women like that. You see what I'm
Mm,
saying? But I've gotten older. It's
mm,
been like an open, a little bit more of an open invitation to all, I guess. Yeah, anything that's not, I stay within my race. Though, have you ever dated outside of your race before? White person.
absolutely.
What's the difference in
Absolutely.
your? What's your difference in your experiences between? Like what like is there significant amounts of difference, or are we the same? Like,
I feel like the white men intentional,
oh,
Dominican, Puerto
okay.
Ricans were uh very like sensual, but and these are just the ones I dealt with, but they lied.
Right. Your
Like, and it
experience.
was
This is about your
unnecessary.
experience.
Like, that's just my experience. It's my experience. I don't think that that's everybody,
Hmm.
which is why I'm not a generalizer of stuff. I'm saying my experience. Um,
Hmm.
and then anger issues. That was another thing that I didn't like about like any like Spanish, Puerto Rican, Dominican anger issues, like jealousy. That don't work for me because I'm a super social woman. I be out and I'm not gonna be disrespectful, but it's like we not gonna, yeah, no.
Hmm.
Um, German was very nice. Uh, couldn't stay with that long because secretly he was a smoker and I don't like cigarettes, so that kind of threw that
When did
off.
you find
The
that
crazy
out? When did you
part
find
is
out the
the
six
why.
smokers?
The crazy part is when we tried to cohabitate.
Oh, okay. He was hiding that smoke all that time. I don't know what's going on with this.
Me,
Gotcha.
hopefully
Gotcha. So,
makes sense, but that was kind of it. I will say with the white guy, he was so sweet, so attentive, so all of these things. And I can say this because I was young at the time, and you know how I don't know if you heard this growing up, but I did. Is that when white people get wet, they smell like dogs. This man never no dog or nothing. But whenever we would be around each other, I always thought I smelled wet puppy, and I did it, but it was a
man.
psychological up, and that's why we really couldn't go nowhere. And it's so crazy to me. And
Man, was he howling
I
in the
always made
shower?
the dating. No, and he was like, the crazy part is he was like the token white boy. Like, he hung around black people. He wasn't disrespectful in his blackness, and like him being relatable. He was super cool and everything. But that is what messed it up. And it's all people like my friends and my siblings and stuff that know me made a joke that all my children are black. I dated men and
Hmm.
I never I ended up getting pregnant by black men. So It's very interesting.
Right,
It could have went another
right.
way
So you have
for
kids?
sure. But God,
You have kids? What's the ages of your kids?
I do. I have all daughters.
How old are they?
Eight fixing to be. Eight, I have an 18-year-old who just turned 18 a couple weeks ago. It's first of the year, and then I have a 15 that is about to be 16 in February, and then I have a 5-year-old, a Gemini, a Pisces, and a no, corn.
Right. So what do you tell? How do you prepare your women? Your women. How do you prepare your young ladies? To when it comes to men, what are some of the things and lessons that you tell your daughters?
So with my oldest daughter, and that's so funny that you even said that. With my oldest daughter, I feel like she took on a lot of my characteristics early on with, like, trying to have a boyfriend and
Hmm.
stuff, like, you know, kind of just like liking who liked her, even if she didn't necessarily like them that much, because she felt like, she would be invested, right? And then,
Hmm.
I had to have conversations with her like, I don't care how much you want or this person say you, like, that like, you don't have to. Whereas like middle daughter, she, honey, listen, she came out the gate with her, they get little boyfriends in middle school and stuff like that, and
Hmm.
she would drop you like a bad habit and not talk to you. But it was one of those situations for her, like, if you don't feel, because in middle school is when the kids was kind of getting into stuff.
Hmm.
She was like, if you feel like you need all of these other different things to stimulate you, like, then we good. And she really meant that. That was like the last little boyfriend she got, besides the one she got now. And the one she got now, they've been boyfriend and girlfriend since seventh grade. They feel
Hmm. Yeah. Yeah. Has she brought any
whereas
boys
my second
boys around to the house?
boy said it again.
Have your daughter ever introduced you to a young man? Your daughter ever
Oh,
introduced you
they
to a young
introduced me to
man?
everybody. They introduced me to everybody. Everybody.
You do.
Everybody.
As far
My
as somebody they're
oldest
interested
daughter
with.
probably have had the most boyfriends. Like, she'll have a boyfriend, and then a week or two later they no longer boyfriend and girlfriend. No, because she swears that I be done put something in her head, like, no, mom, you said this and now I feel like this. I'm like, I don't want you to be lonely by no means. What I tell her is don't settle. You don't have no reason to settle, like, at all. And I think when she was kind of going through her identity, finding herself, the second she
Uh-huh.
found herself, it's like, yeah, I don't have time for that. And I'm happy for her, because
Hey, real quick, here's what I'm gonna do. Give me a second. Let me do something real quick. Give me one second. I'm gonna put you in the back. Let me do something real quick. All right. So look, check this out. Obviously, it looks like we have some like audio problems or whatnot today. I don't know what's going on. We usually we popping like that. I do. Um, apologize for where we are. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna try to bring it back on. If we can't get it right, what we're gonna do? We're gonna do this. We're gonna definitely reschedule this interview because there are a few things I do would like to discover and to talk to with Kay about. We're gonna bring her back another time, but I'm gonna be honest with you. I like to get the best content in right now. I don't know what's going on. Maybe it's the monster is out and he acting up. Let me see if I can bring it back in one more time. Hey Kay, can you hear me? See, here we go. But look, check it. So here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna go ahead and just end it for the night. But here's the thing. Some of the takeaways I gave away for the night. Hold on for a second. Let me see. Okay, it ain't
It said
working. There it
it's
is.
oh it said it kicked me out. It said you have been kicked off the screen.
Yeah, I kicked you out for a screen to bring you back, but now you sound better. But look, check this out real quick because we've been on for about an hour and anything too. We're gonna have to get this audio back. I'm gonna bring you back with a bunch of with a group of girls, and we're gonna open up even more. But let me ask you a question. Right now, when it comes to dating, they say the dating pool sucks, right? They say it sucks. If you was a pool cleaner, right, and you had your pool net, how would you clean a dating pool? What would you do first? Help us clean this pool out. What would you do?
I would
What
take
would you
out
say? What would
the
you do?
immature ones first. I would
Immature ones.
clean.
What do you mean?
I would put out all of the pool peers,
The ones who pee in
all
the
the
pool.
people that pee in the pool and walk away,
Right, right, right. And so how can you determine which ones?
because
Because the
all of
pool,
them they
everybody.
don't have no they don't have self accountability. You said what?
Yeah. No, no. I was gonna say as far as how can you determine the ones who pee in the pool? Because there's a lot of people that's swimming through the waters right now. So how can a person see before they get to a point of allowing somebody to jump into their pool? How can a woman say, "Hey, these are the signs that I see that you might be a pool pisser"?
The ones that's moving around, because most of the people in the pool is speculating and looking and stuff. The ones that's moving around is the one that's pissing peeing in the water. They just pee here. Let me move over here. I'm pee right here. I'm gonna move over.
Uh,
Those to me
uh,
are the ones because that I've heard this so many times. Like as dating is going, it's like a lot of people are collecting data in these dates, right? But I feel like some of the data collectors don't know how to process data. So
right. You
you're
got to be
you're
able to
taking
process it.
on doing something you're not equipped to do.
Hmm. Yeah. Like I said, the root
So
word
yeah, the
of
pool
dating is
pictures.
data, but you have to, right? You gotta be able to take the data. You gotta be able to take the data and be able to decipher what truth is and come up with a better thesis that most people are. So to your point, yeah,
And a lot of times people
processing the
can't do
data
it.
is where a lot of people. Right, right.
Absolutely.
There's a lot of people that don't have processing skills. Right. So look, real quick before we end tonight, right? And again, I'm gonna bring you back when we get everybody lined up. I like your opinions on some stuff. I'm gonna bring some guys and some girls in. But what are some of the key things you can tell women to look out for and how to overcome it, and also men address both sides. What are some of the things that we should look out for, or some of the things that we can do to help improve all as for men and women, however you want to do it. Like what can we
Uh,
do to try to make it better?
I think one of the main things that we can do to make it better is first start off by being honest with ourselves and what exactly we're looking for and what we have time
Hmm.
to really do. And the reason I say that is because I think that a lot of times we want to be in a relationship because either we are lonely or we're at a place in our lives where now build something. But if you really don't have the time to build, don't do it.
Hmm.
One of my a part of my background, one of my degrees, and I'm a contractor licensed out of the state of Georgia. And one of the things that a lot of people don't understand when it comes to trying to build a contract is what it takes to build it. And most people are not willing to put in the time to build what you want. Instead, y'all, I'm sure everybody has seen this. you will literally see them little built in a month or so. The second a good gust of wind come through, them houses is laying on the ground because nobody took the
Mm-hmm.
time to really make sure that the land that it was built on was good. Make sure that it had a solid foundation. All of the things that you need to have houses. At the end of the day, y'all think about all of it. If you look on down in East Atlanta, all them bungalows and stuff like that. The reason why a lot of them look the way that they look is because somebody didn't take care of them. They're dilapidated, but the bones is
Mm-hmm.
still good. And I feel like a lot of times the
Mm-hmm.
issues when it comes to getting into a great relationship, there's something you can build if they don't have a good foundation and the bones is weak because nobody
Mm-hmm.
took the time to put reinforcement and truthfully uncomfortable conversations. But I'd rather have an uncomfortable conversation
Right.
5 days in than 5 years.
Yeah, yeah, and those are good on dates. Sometimes you got to get uncomfortable to see how a person gonna react, especially when you're dating. You know what I'm saying? You got to have difficult. I think sometimes we skate around and stuff and don't want to hurt nobody's feelings or want to be presented a certain kind of way because that person looks good. And when actuality, just because they may look a certain kind of way, you got to remove that and get down to the crux of why you're there. Don't find out 4 months later, 3 months later. Don't find out a day late. You don't understand who you with. You know, have those difficult conversations.
But that's the thing. Sometimes I feel like he's so surface driven. It's like, dang, she look like she got this, she look like she got that, and all of these different things. Like that, the situation I was telling you about the person that I know that got a person pregnant that they just had been sleeping with. And then I'm talking to him and I'm asking him all of these different things. And he was like, well, I didn't know that because on social media it looked like this and on social media it looked
Social
like that. I was
media,
like,
gee.
and you never cared enough to actually know. But I'm saying you never cared enough procreating with a person that don't have they life together the way social media make them think. And I've made this as a joke so many times. One corner, all you need is one good corner to look like something. How to do no laundry, no room dirty. They barely got a set of plates, and you base your whole "I'm in love with" on this facade of this person, and then you realize, and that's what I say a lot of times about men who meet me that be like, "Oh, I just love her." I'm like, you love the thoughts of me, like you have no idea,
Mm.
because most people because they see me out and I'm always look nice. I'm sitting at home right now, fresh out the shower. I was like, okay, let me put on me a shirt to make sure that I am representing my brand well. But I'm a homebody. Like I like to go out and all of those things, but that's also a part of how I handle business and all of that. Set me at the house, cuddle with me in the bed. Let's go lay on the couch, watch some TV. Like I like going out. Don't get me wrong. I love to put on clothes, all of that. But I also love to not really have on none and just be laying around the house. So that I mean, I feel like a lot of times people won't be honest with what it is that they're looking for. Like I want somebody that's comfortable with me being the big spoon sometimes, putting my feet on you on the side of the bed, like those and people won't have those conversations, and then you're miserable because a person won't hold, won't do this, won't do that. Like, and I just like if you don't have the conversation with your person, if they have the potential of being your person, if you never be your person, because your person, whether it offend them, it ain't something that they like or not, will appreciate the fact that you had a conversation. Because then like you see people all the time having these like, how compatible are they, or couples has been together a long time. You at game a couple years ago called Last Couple Standing, and I saw Candy and Todd playing it. But I bought the questions that's in that game ain't for fame.
Mhm.
It's not, because it
Mm.
asks questions that some people are so uncomfortable to answer. Matter of fact, when I played the game, it caused a argument that I wasn't trying to have with a couple that I love
Between you and
very
this guy,
dearly. It
between
also,
you and the guy,
huh?
between you and the guy
No,
you was
between
dating,
somebody
or
else.
okay, got it. Okay.
No, between another couple. It didn't have. It was my
Oh,
game.
okay.
have a person
Mm,
there with me when I pulled the game out. It
gotcha.
was just some other people that were so I was really just playing the game. But I'm saying that to
Gotcha.
say are not asked. So like if you are in a place where you don't necessarily know how to ask the questions or things like that, get you some of these card games. They have questions that you may not even realize is something that you
Hmm.
wanted to know or that you needed to know. And I think that a lot of times it'll also show you the thought process of the person. That'll help you to realize, like, is this somebody I want to procreate with? Is this somebody that I to carry my last name, to be a representation in the street of me?
Hmm.
Not just because of how they look, but shoot, how they get when you're not around.
Yeah, yeah, you're right. Well, that's definitely a good way to you know hold people accountable in those areas. So let me ask you a question before we end. Not even a question. Just tell everybody where you at. What days you in closing? What days are you where you put your social media handle and tell them about the Monday because a lot of people came in late for church. So tell them where they can find you.
Okay. Once again, I am K McCole. K McCole on all social media platforms. Just KMICOLE. Same thing when it comes to my website. And like I said, I do Mindset Monday on Wednesdays. I check in periodically.
So look, check this out, y'all. We're gonna go ahead and just end it out with that. I don't know what's going on with the audio tonight, but guess what? We will be back tomorrow. Tomorrow I got a show. Y'all gonna be very, 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 very entertained tomorrow. We're gonna do back to back date night. All right, we're gonna get this audio together. We're gonna get this tape together. We're gonna be able to bring in this young lady tomorrow. It's gonna be very, very entertaining. Y'all, hey, look, it's gonna be late too because she's in Colorado, so we're gonna be up about 10 o'clock tomorrow. Right? We're gonna bring Miss K back for another time. Um, but I will say this: one of the biggest things that we can definitely kind of like put a thumbnail in it is the fact of like no one owns the monopoly of opinion, whether it be male or females. It's okay for men to have an opinion on a woman without being tainted and believe that men are that hate women. We do have an opinions, and those opinions and those values of men should always be respected, even if we don't like. Maybe we may be coming from good intentions. Those who don't have the best intentions on making things right. So leave that energy for those, but those who just want to call the bullshit out, let them call the bullshit out. We all on both sides have things that we need to correct as human beings, as men, women, as black men and black women, in order for us to really try to get to a point where we can do some healing amongst each other. Because I think right now the reason that we're not healing relationships aren't the way they are is because we haven't healed within ourselves and we are too much doing the blame game. Typically, those who blame are the ones who are actually contributing to the bullshit. All right, just go ahead and call it for what it is. But guess what? Enough about all that. We'll definitely tune in tomorrow. Around 10 o'clock. I do have a young lady that's gonna come on. She is gonna be off the charts. She has a very, very interesting perspective on dating men, and she always going off on her Facebook. Man, it's sometimes it's I don't even believe half the shit she say, but I'm gonna bring her on right, and we might break break the bank tomorrow. But outside of that, hey, I appreciate your time. We'll see you tomorrow. Sorry about the audio. Sorry about the camera. We'll get it all right. But guess what? We'll be back tomorrow. We're gonna do it again. I got a bunch of stuff lined up. Right, at the beginning of 2025. 2025 is going to be a year of healing between black men and black women relationships it's gaining the understanding and whatnot, and we're gonna go ahead and make it work this year. So other than